It is Tuesday, December 24th, 2024. And you know what that means, Cameron?
What does that mean, Mike?
It's time for another Toast Tuesday, Christmas Eve edition. It's
edition.
Christmas Eve. How about that, huh?
I love it. I love
it. It is a little brisk here
just
in
a little,
the Finger Lakes.
a little chilly
Wow.
today.
Wow, has it been cold. But yeah, so it's the Christmas Eve episode. We're closed today.
We are closed
We're
today.
not open on Christmas
day
Eve.
off.
We're closed Christmas Eve and also tomorrow for Christmas.
Of course.
But hey, we're still here doing Toast Tuesday, right? We don't miss
stop.
a beat. We don't miss a beat with Toast Tuesday. Cameron, how was your week?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned 2 episodes now about the Wii that I couldn't get right.
The Wii, you're trying to do something with that sounded illegal. But
no, not at all. It's totally fair game at this point. But I spent, I think, 3 hours really trying to go back from each step. I had to call my younger brother, who is a very, very adamant, and he's very good at doing these things. So we sat on the phone for quite a while, and I finally got it right.
You got to figure it out.
Finally got it figured out.
You got to figure it out.
Yes, so, I would play whatever, Mario Kart, Mario Party, whatever I want.
All right.
Forever.
That sounds impressive.
It was a long
good job.
Thank you.
All right, good job. And you're getting ready to take some time off, right?
I am, yeah. I got a couple days off here.
A couple of vacation days for you is good for the holidays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Excited.
We had a good week here, I would say. The big thing I did was finish topping up all of my barrels.
You did?
So all my barrels are topped up with wine. That's like 46 barrels right now. We got a lot of barrels.
A lot to top off.
46 barrels. That takes a heck of a lot longer than you might think to top those barrels off.
A lot.
I still have probably another 14 barrels still to fill. So we'll be upwards of about 60 barrels from this vintage. So pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
Pretty happy about how the reds are turning out so far. I think they're going to be really nice. So. A lot of barrel work is going to continue to be a lot of barrel work now, because you got to go through and top those barrels up like once a month. You got to top them up once a month. Wine evaporates out of the barrels, but you know what?
Yep.
We're going to tell people all about it today.
We will. Today is
the day. Our special episode, behind the scenes, all about wine barrels.
It's a beautiful episode. I can't wait.
So we're going to teach you all about that. Everything you wanted to know and probably more about wine barrels. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Absolutely.
So it's great timing to talk about the wine barrels. What's going on at Toast Winery?
Well, popcorn is still going on.
I know it sounds like a broken record when we say that, right? But it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool thing to do.
Popcorn.
And I find that around this time of the year too, we get a lot of locals that come out.
We do.
They might have family in town. They're like, hey, let's go out wine tasting for the day, or whatever the case might be. And the popcorn pairing is just a cool thing to have to do. Unique. That's going to be different than you're going to find anywhere else.
Yes.
5 different wines. 5 different flavored popcorns,
of course.
Each one very specifically chosen to pair with one of our wines. So it's a really cool experience, and it's only going to be available for like another week.
Yep. 1 week.
The year's over. That's it. Shutting it down.
It's over.
Also shutting the mulled wine down. We talked about this last episode. So the mulled wine, come get it while you can. Come get your mug of mulled wine. What a day it is today to have sit and have a glass of mulled wine. Yeah, for sure.
Warm you right on.
So all right, I think. Let's go through our upcoming schedule. Right, so the Toast Winery schedule a little bit different. Want to make sure people know so that they're in the know. We'll post it online as well. But again, we're closed for Christmas Eve and Christmas.
Nice.
That's our normal Tuesday, Wednesday, winter hours. Just happens to fall that way, right? Next week, though, different close days. We're going to close Wednesday and Thursday. Because we're going to be open New Year's Eve.
We will be.
Want to be open New Year's Eve for the people. I think it's a day that people like to go out and do a little wine tasting before they fall into whatever they're going to for the New Year's Eve evening. So we're going to be open on Tuesday, New Year's Eve, from 10 until 4.
10 to 4.
We'll close a little early, 4 o'clock. But 10 to 4 on New Year's Eve, and then closed Wednesday, Thursday. So a little bit different. A little different schedule next week. Of course, we're open every other day outside of that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the upcoming schedule. Now you're in the know.
You got to know.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get to the barrel episode.
To the barrel episode, all about wine barrels. All right,
so much to learn.
We'll see you on the other side. Can't wait to hear what you think. All right. All right, everyone. It's Mike and Cameron. We're going to go behind the scenes today to talk all about wine barrels. We're in our barrel room here. We've got some of our wine barrels here, and we're going to talk and educate you today about wine barrels. So the first thing I think that is good to know is the different type of oak that a wine barrel can be made from. And typically there are three different kinds of oak. We have French oak, American oak, and a Hungarian or European oak. I tend to use French oak only. French is what you're going to see here and what we're going to talk a lot about today. They have different impacts on wine, so it's a very stylistic decision in terms of what type of oak you use. American oak tends to be much more intense in terms of the flavors that it releases. It also has some things like dill, which I think is interesting, that American oak will impart into it. But it's much bigger, it's much bolder in terms of its integration. French oak is known for its subtle integration. So you'll get flavors like vanilla, a little bit of spice, some caramel, things like that. But it's much more of a subtle integration, takes more time. It's a much softer oak integration. And I think a lot of people think that it's probably a more quality wine barrel. But I don't know. Again, it all depends on what the winemaker thinks and the style they're going for in terms of what they're making in a wine. And Hungarian oak, that last one, really is known for its vanilla. It'll have high vanilla in there. Again, probably right in the middle in terms of its impact. So again, French, softer, more gentle integration. The European or Hungarian oak's probably in the middle there. And then the American oak, which is much bigger and bolder. Interesting thing about French oak is by far the most expensive. By far the most expensive. I don't know if you knew that, Cameron.
I did not.
Not only do we have to obviously bring them over from France, which drives the price up, but they have very specific rules about how they make barrels in France. Like when they cut the wood, first of all, they have to split the wood. They can't just saw it when they first get it, and it all has to be with the grain. And every piece of wood has to be cut along the grain line. So there's a lot more waste when they make a French barrel, which also makes it expensive as well. Where an American oak barrel, they can cut that however they want, make the most efficient use of the wood when they're building it and putting it together. So yeah, the French is very interesting. The rules and the laws they have around making these French barrels. Let's see. I've made some notes here for some things I want to make sure I point out.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look at that. It's also possible to buy a barrel with a mix of French and American oak. So a cooper may put together the staves or the outside of the ring of the barrel with French oak, and the head that goes on the top here might be American oak. So it's possible to buy a barrel that has a mix of the two oaks there. Again, totally stylistic decision in terms of what you want to do. The other thing that you have to think about when choosing a wine barrel actually relates to our name, Toast Winery.
It absolutely does.
So it has to do with the toast level of a barrel. So these wine barrels, every one of them when they're made, they're actually put over top before the heads are put on them. They're put over a flame, and they literally will toast them over a flame, the inside of the barrel. And that helps open up the pores of the wood and really helps so that the flavor extraction that you're getting out of the wood is bigger as well. It helps soften the tannins. So oak gives a lot of tannins into wine as well. And having that toast of the wood helps soften the tannins that comes out of it. And there's various different toast levels. So again, stylistic decision, you have to choose what toast level of a barrel you want when you're buying it. Do you want a light toast? Typically for white wines, you might go for a lighter toast.
Oh.
That's not going to, all right, hold on there. All right, back from a little technical challenge there, but we're talking about toast levels again, which is where our name comes from, Toast Winery. Again, it goes from light toast, medium toast. There's a medium, I'm generalizing it, but medium plus and a heavy toast level. And obviously, the heavier the toast, the more of the kind of, I guess, darker flavors you'll get. A light toast might have some nice vanilla in it, whereas you'll get more of those caramel, chocolatey flavors that as you get into a heavier toast.
Okay, we're back.
All right, we're back. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
That is very funky.
So toast level is an important thing. Now, interesting to note, like wine barrels, really the most oak influence you're going to get out of these wine barrels is about 3 years worth. So 3 years of use is really where you're going to extract all of these influences that I'm talking about here. Obviously, the most in the first year, and then a little bit less, and then a little bit less. After 3 years, the oak influence that a barrel will provide into the wine is minimal. You'll still get some, very subtle, and that's when a barrel is considered neutral. We talked about that, I think, a couple episodes ago about a neutral barrel. So why? I mean, why would you want to keep a barrel longer than 3 years, right? Kind of with that in mind. But we do. We keep these barrels for quite a while, and a neutral barrel has its purpose as well. In fact, a neutral barrel then is, you're not worrying about this oak maybe overpowering the wine and doing more to it than you want, because once that's in there, it's really hard to get out. So a neutral barrel definitely has some use, especially here in the Finger Lakes, where our wines can be a little bit lighter in terms of style. And so a neutral oak barrel then ensures that all that fruit and the things that we've got here in our Finger Lakes wine is coming through, and the oak is not just kind of taking over and overpowering that. So we definitely like neutral barrels here. I tend to use oak anywhere from that's had one use to neutral. I generally don't get brand new barrels, but I'm certainly not opposed to trying a new barrel. But generally, I'm doing barrels that are a little bit older, that aren't going to just really overpower that wine, and that way that the oak influence is a little bit more subtle, and when we won't have it like taking over just in terms of that wine. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Let's see, what else do we got here?
A lot of notes.
Wine evaporates from these barrels. I wonder if that's an interesting fact that people might not know. It evaporates. And about once a month, I have to come in here and top all of these barrels off, because we're trying to minimize the headspace between the wine and the top of the barrel. That's really, again, to keep the oxygen exposure away from the wine. Again, so it evaporates. We call it the angel share. That's the angel share, Cameron, that happens when it evaporates.
That's a nice name.
And it can be a lot. Like in the cold winter months, like we're kind of into now, and the air is really dry. I mean, I can lose half a gallon a month.
Yeah.
In one barrel that we have to refill. In the summer, when it's a little warmer, a little more humid, the evaporation is not quite as great. But definitely in the drier months, I really have to watch out for that. Let's see. Again, we get our wine barrels. We get them used. This is what most people in the Finger Lakes do. This is not something that we're doing here. Most of us get them used. We get them from, I get ours from California. So these barrels were all used at one time at a California winery. And we deal with barrel brokers. There's actually a thing as a barrel broker out there, Cameron, that they work with the California wineries. We work with them. They handle all the shipping, and we get them out here.
Interesting.
Yeah, so generally we're doing used barrels here. These are all used. Most of these barrels that we're using, this is all 2024 vintage we currently have in these barrels. These are all barrels that were first filled in 2022. So this, if you think about that 3-year thing that I just said, this would be their third fill. What I'm doing here is the third fill, or the third year of usage. So there's definitely still some oak fluence in that, not as heavy as a brand new barrel, but we'll definitely get some oak fluence in that. And a lot of winemakers will use a mix of aged barrels too. So again, mine are used 22, 21 is what most of these are.
Yes.
a lot of winemakers will say, okay, well, for this particular wine, I'm going to use 1 or 2 new barrels. I'm going to use 1 once used barrel. So they have different ages, and then they blend it all together and believe that makes for the nicest combination. That's how we're able to get all these used barrels from California, by the way, because they're using hundreds and if not thousands of barrels every year.
I bet.
And yeah, they're like, okay, well, I've got 200 new barrels that I want. I need to have 200 new barrels, and they might have too many and they'll use them 1 year and then they'll sell them, or they'll use them 2 years and they'll sell them. It all depends on what they're going for and what they're trying for. So that's why we get these from California. They're a lot cheaper than buying a brand new barrel, which can be really expensive. and personally, and I think a lot of us would agree here, with our Finger Lakes wine being a little bit lighter in style, they just work a lot better than a brand new barrel, which can just be boom, blow up a wine. I think here. So yeah, that's I think I covered the things that I wanted to talk about there. It's probably more than you wanted to know, but that's how I roll. Let's see. You know what I think would be cool? I think, yes. Karen, when you look at a wine barrel, there's all this stuff printed on them, right?
I wanted to ask about that too.
That? So let's educate the people. They can walk into another winery and maybe look at these barrels and understand some things maybe they haven't thought about before. All right. Cameron's is doing his best with the camera here, but we're trying something fancy, and it's slipping a little bit. But all right, good job working with that, Cameron. So let's take a look at some of these wine barrels and see what's written on them and see what you can tell from them. Right? Let's start right here. We'll start with this one. So get a good shot of what is on this. This is the name of the Cooper is generally always on these wine barrels. This is Francois Frères.
Oh, okay.
Tonnellaire, that actually means Cooper in France. So you'll see this on a lot of the barrels, and I might butcher some of this pronunciation here. Tonnellaire, again, you'll see that on a lot of them. That means Cooper. But let's look at these things that are on here. VTG HT3Y, right? So that tells you something there. That tells me, first of all, toast level, heavy toast. That's what the HT stands for. 3Y, 3 year. That means that the wood was air cured before it was built into a barrel for 3 years. It was sitting, curing, drying from an air standpoint before they built the barrel. So 3-year-old wood. And VTG, very tight grain, is what that stands for. That's that grain of the wood that you see here. A tighter grain means more subtle and slower integration. And people believe that the tighter the grain, the better the barrel, in terms of because it's a more slower, subtle integration. But yeah, that's what that stands for. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Here's another Francois Frères barrel. This is the same thing. It's a heavy toast barrel. BSG, very small grain.
Got you.
So that means it has a smaller grain to it. Yeah. Not all of them will tell you all of this like that one will. Again, 3-year-old wood on that particular one here. Go up to this one up here, Tonnellaire Ramon. Can you see that? I'm not sure that. No, it's not going all the way up there. Come down here.
We'll do this one.
This one here.
Perfect.
Same Cooper. So you notice on this one here, there's a V.
Just a V.
And then MTL plus. Thoughts on what this is?
I think I know what the MTL is.
Tell me what the MTL plus is.
Medium toast level plus.
Medium toast level plus. Good job.
Thank you.
The V, and again, in France, these things this is like serious business in France. The V actually stands for the forest that the wood came from.
That is very cool.
So super interesting. Some again, it's about a lot of it's promotion, and that's a forest that's going to deliver exceptional wood,
of course,
which is why they call that out. Let's look at this one.
I like that
over here. Again, some of the thing. This is medium plus toast level, 3-year-old wood. Again, the name of the Cooper. This has a nice little medal on there. Oh, look at they're getting into again, water bent. So there's some marketing that goes into this as well in terms of what they're trying to promote here. Get this one down here. This is an interesting one. This is a Cooper called Sorry. Again, some marketing things there. But what do you think this is right here? M plus TH.
So I would say medium plus, but the TH is throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, medium plus toasted heads.
Oh.
So that means the heads are also toasted, right? So when you think about that toast process, they put it over the flame before this top goes on. But you can also buy a barrel that has the heads toasted as well.
Interesting.
So that's what that means. So, and look at this too. This is pretty cool here, right? So these particular barrels have this like wooden branch wrapped around the outside, purely for aesthetics. It's not holding the wood or anything together. That's still being held together here by these rings. This is and again, I don't know which one this is, but typically when they wrap this in, it's either from a chestnut tree or a willow tree.
Interesting.
So they will do that, and generally it's done in the particular region of France that this barrel was made in. That's something that they do, right? Their little touch onto a barrel. So you can see we've got several of these here where these barrels are wrapped in these willow or chestnut tree branches, and they're pretty cool looking, right? When you look at it, because multiple on the ends and in the middle. Yeah, pretty neat. So when you walk into a winery, take a look at that barrel, and see what you can tell on it. See if you can see what the toast level is. See if you can see if it comes from a particular forest, or see if you can see how long that wood was aged for. And of course, they're not going to promote it if it's probably less than 3 years. 3 years is generally 18 months to 3 years that they will air cure the wood. Obviously, they think 3 years is the best to dry that wood out. So there you go. There you have it. Again, more information than you probably ever wanted to know.
No, I think
but there's a lot of decisions when you buy a wine barrel. Not as much when you're buying it used like we are, but if you're buying a new wine barrel, again, a lot of choices to be made there, including the type of oak that you're going to have that barrel made out of, the toast level, the grain, and again, lots of different choices and selections to make when it goes into a wine barrel. So hopefully you got something out of that. Cameron, did you learn something today?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I like this.
All right, I hope so.
Super interesting.
Awesome. So again, this is our barrel room. You can come in here yourself and check these barrels out.
Of course.
You might see me in here topping wine like I was this past weekend, or you might look at the outside of the barrels yourself and see what's happening here. I can picture a little barrel sampling session to come, maybe this spring or this summer, where we'll have an event and maybe do some right out of the barrel wine tasting here.
There's tons to do.
So look forward to that.
Beautiful.
All right, there it is. Hopefully I didn't bore the heck out of you.
Not at all.
But all about wine barrels. There's so much more to it than just that. Right? I didn't want to. I'm just scratching the surface here. But yeah. All right.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers. All right, welcome back. What do you think?
That was interesting. Yeah? It was a lot to learn.
Interesting.
A lot to learn.
Interesting.
A lot of questions.
Interesting challenges as well with the phone.
Of course, yes. We had some.
So we have like it's a phone stabilizer is what it's supposed to be. The idea of having a phone stabilizer is so that it's stable, not so that it's like constantly flipping back and forth. But
knocked out of there.
Anyway. I thought that was good. Hopefully I didn't drone on too long, and hopefully people are still with us to finish off the episode. But again, all about wine barrels.
Of course. You go. I mean, you have to learn about it. You got to know. We're in the room often.
Cool, especially when it's kind of an origin of our name, Toast Winery. The barrels, I think it's a cool thing, wine barrels. It's very interesting.
Yes.
I mean, you can go deep into it.
There's so much.
These Coopers they're like artists in terms of how they put these barrels together. And the work that goes into it, the mastery of basically taking wood, putting it together so that it can hold a liquid. It's pretty impressive.
Awesome.
Pretty impressive.
I would agree.
There's no like glue or anything.
No, it's just all the wood.
All pressure and They're perfectly cut so that they all fit together. It's amazing.
Beautiful art.
All right, good. So hopefully everybody enjoyed that. Let's get to topical topics on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Topical topics on a Tuesday. Buffalo Bills, baby.
We got it. 8-0?
Actually,
8-1?
Actually, we don't know if they won or not.
We don't know.
You know why? Because it's Sunday morning.
It is
Sunday morning. So it's the holidays. We can't. We're closed on Tuesday.
True.
You can't film Toast Tuesday on a Tuesday, Christmas Eve when we're closed.
People are doing things. We're out and about.
All right, Buffalo Bills. We don't know the outcome.
But we know.
I'm not gonna. I'm being a lifelong Browns fan now. Converted to a Bills fan.
Mm-hmm.
I know better than to make any prediction about this game.
Okay, good. I take
They're
back
playing the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Anything can happen. They're
true.
heavy favorites. I don't expect them to lose, but I'm not going to sit here and jinx it because then the Bills fans will come at me and say you jinxed it.
Stopped
All right.
Yes.
So we got a tough game. We'll just see what happens.
It's crazy.
We don't know whether they won or not because it's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't know, but we'll know.
Not yet.
We'll know later. All right. It's Christmas.
It is.
All right. Our top 5 list. We're going to do top 5 Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
We did movies last week.
We did. So now we get to do songs.
This week we did songs. Before we do that, though, I got a little something for you.
You got me something?
I got a little something.
Is that what this was? Okay.
I got a little something for you
Look at
here.
the wrapping paper.
Merry Christmas to you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
let's see what we got here.
Okay. This is a beautiful wrapping paper.
Yeah. Did that myself.
I love it, Mike. Look at this. Let's see.
I think you're going to like it.
I will like it no matter what. Oh, look at this shirt.
Yeah. Now you got a fun shirt Tuesday.
I've got my own fun shirt.
Look at that, baby.
What we're wearing next week.
Thank
you so much. Cool look at how cool that is.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. I love that.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having you on the show.
Cool. I love it here.
And being my co-host here.
Beautiful shirt.
Yeah, I think it's.
I like that.
I think we got a fun little thing going here. We got to get the audience boosted up a little bit, but
it's the shirts. We got to wear some good shirts.
Yeah, so now you got your own fun shirt to wear on a Tuesday, right?
Of course I do.
Might not be a winter shirt, but that's okay. We'll pull it out,
Of course, in the nice summertime.
Getting ready to start soon. Season 2.
So Merry Christmas. Thank you.
You are welcome. I'm glad you like it.
I love that.
I'm glad you like it. I liked it. I thought it was perfect.
Thank you.
All right, good. So let's get to it then.
Of course,
I'm ready. Top 5 Christmas songs. You ready?
Top 5.
Got them down. All right, let's see.
The
people want to know what your top 5 Christmas songs are. So I'm going to let you go first.
I'll go first. I'm going 5. It's a classic. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There you go. That's a good one.
Classic.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah.
It's a nice song.
I did think about that one. Didn't make my list.
Not yet.
I went, and we talked about this not too long ago, Last Christmas by Wham.
Oh,
Little Whamageddon.
Would they be in Whamageddon now or no?
I've got Whamageddon long ago. But Last Christmas. I like the song. It's a fun song. You hear that song, and you can't. It's one of the songs you get stuck in your head. And
yeah,
you can't
it
get
does
rid
not
of
leave.
it. Yeah, you can't get rid of it. So that's on my list. Number 5.
Number 5. Good number 5.
Yeah.
Number 4. I'm going with the Home Alone theme.
The Home Alone. What is the Home? I don't even know what the Home Alone theme is.
It's like if you've seen the movie. Like
I've seen the movie like a long time ago. But
I can't remember how they play it, but it's just
a Christmas song.
It's kind of. I would say it's a Christmas song.
Do other people know what that means?
Know the Home Alone, like the Canada shot of like the house, and it's the beautiful music.
Okay, I feel like nobody.
When the parents when everybody comes home because Kevin was left home alone all day, and it's the end, and he's giving the neighbor his present or whatever, and.
I don't know if that qualifies, Cameron. I don't know if that qualifies. I don't think anybody knows what you're talking about. But okay, if you're going to put that on number 4, I'll let you because it's Christmas. I'll let you put it on there as number 4. But that sounds like I don't know. That sounds like a stretch putting that one on there. Okay, the Home Alone theme. They have a theme. Come on, you're making that up.
No, not at all.
All right. My number 4 is a song that people actually know. All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey. You can't. I mean,
choice.
That's it. That's probably another song that drives people crazy when they hear it. But it's another song that sticks in your head when you hear it.
It does.
All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey. My number 4.
Classic Christmas.
There you go. Three is we're going to know what three is. Now I'm afraid. Now I'm afraid to hear what else you're going to pull out.
So obscure.
This is from the black and white film.
Neo noir, like 1842. It is The Grinch.
The Grinch.
Grinch is the.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Okay,
that's the one. So, see, people know that one.
That song annoys the hell out of me. That song, Cameron. So this is a weird list for me for you. All right, The Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
That's beautiful.
Okay. My number 3, Holly Jolly Christmas.
Yes, that's
Holly Jolly Christmas. You know where that's from?
No.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's from the show. Remember, we talked that's from the claymation show. Yeah.
Was it in
Holly Jolly Christmas?
Oh,
yeah,
I haven't seen
maybe
Rudolph
it's not from the show, but they definitely it's in the movie.
Okay,
it's in the television show, the claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Holly Jolly Christmas. The little snowman guys sing it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I know what it took me a second.
Holly Jolly Christmas.
Okay, I like that one.
All right.
2, we're going with the Charlie Brown song they sung around the Charlie Brown's Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I think it was Hush. I think is what it was called, or something along those lines. His little sad tree, and they were all singing around it.
Okay.
I think it's a very sweet song.
Another song that
people would know the Charlie Brown Ugly Christmas Tree song.
Okay. Hush. It doesn't even have a name. You're just calling it the Charlie Brown song. Okay.
Yeah, look at my notes.
That's a good one. I'm looking at your notes. Okay, so that's your number 2.
That's good.
Fun song. We're all dancing around the tree.
We are.
All right. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's my number 2. Kind of an old-fashioned song, but I like it. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We got a white Christmas here.
We do.
I think we would have thought we were going to get one, but it's here.
No, it's about time.
It's here. It's going to last, I think, until Christmas.
Good.
I think it's going to melt.
Probably
thereafter, as we're supposed to warm up here, but definitely we're having a white Christmas this year. So look at that.
All right.
All right. What do you got?
For number 1, we are scrapping what I picked for number 1, and we are going with Deck the Halls.
No. I need to know what's on that list. I can't read the handwriting.
I wrote it so small, so you need
to tell the people what's on your list. Number 1.
There is, I think, a punk band. They're called Simple Plan, and they have a Christmas song about just making a Christmas list, and it's something that I used to listen to a lot. And
okay,
so that is my number 1.
That started off so good with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You were
right, and you just went downhill, like all the way
to Grinch.
I didn't think you could go lower, but you did.
We went really low.
You did. You went with some obscure punk band called Simple Plan.
They're out there. People would know Simple Plan.
I don't think so. I don't think any of our toast heads would anyway.
Probably.
Whew, okay. This was a rough one. This was a rough one. All right. So, Deck the Halls. Yeah. Jingle Bells is my number 1. Okay. Yeah, no.
Everybody knows
it's written right there. Of course everybody knows it. That's why it's the number 1 song. That's the number 1 Christmas song. I think everybody knows all my songs.
They do know your
People know one song on your list.
No, they would know 2.
Oh, I guess the Grinch.
No, 3. The Charlie Brown, Rudolph.
Nobody knows that song either. Charlie Brown. You don't even know the name of it. You're making it up.
I tried to look it up. I couldn't figure it out.
Hush.
But I just know it's a very sweet song.
What a way to finish out the Christmas season. Top 5 favorite Christmas songs. I know you appreciated my list.
I got every single one wrong.
I think yes. No, you didn't get them wrong. It's just it's a weird list. It's a weird list, Cameron, I got to say. It's a weird list. But, people are going to be looking it up on Spotify now. They're going to want to know what these things are.
What is the Charlie Brown Hush song?
Yeah. And
Simple Plan.
Simple Plan. That's probably the weirdest one. The punk band.
No, it's a good one.
Punk band Christmas song. So, all right. Good job.
Thank you.
I hope you don't mind me picking on you.
Not at all.
Christmas song.
It was beautiful.
We're not drinking anything today, so we have nothing to toast with. Let's get to the toast. I'm not doing a song toast today.
No.
No song toast today.
Mm-hmm.
No. I just hear the toast. Well, let's do the toast, right? So we want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. No matter whether you celebrate Christmas or something else, I hope it's a wonderful holiday season for everybody. Wishing you the best health and happiness and all that. From our Toast Winery family to yours, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Cheers.